Welcome to the Drew Yari Show.
Alright guys, welcome to the show. My name's Yari. We're kind of late on Sunday. Tonight we'll be doing a pay-per-view recap for Extreme Rules. I'm not alone, by the way. Joining me on the show is a new guest. Introduce yourself, new guest.
What's up, everybody? This is Bob.
What's going on, Bob? Bob was supposed to be on the show for the Money in the Bank, but that was kind of my fault because the schedules. But today we are able to get Bob on. Anywho, oh man, I'm excited too. Just an FYI, I missed the first hour of Extreme Rules because I forgot that they start at 6 now.
Yeah.
And I was at work, so I'm looking at it right now. I missed the first 3 matches, the pre-show matches, and the first match on the card, which was the tag team title match. I was able to catch the Finn Balor and Corbin match when I was in the restroom. So, and I missed the Carmella match. Anyway, let's just start with the first match on the show. Did you watch the pre-matches?
I didn't watch the pre-show. I was actually kind of watching the pay-per-view and some other stuff at the same time. The first part of the show really wasn't all that interesting to me. I mean, the Bray Wyatt match was pretty cool, but
let's just start with the results first. The first pre-match show on the card was Andrade Cien Almas defeating Sin Cara. Again, neither of us watched it. The next match, the final pre-show match, Sanity defeating New Day in a tables match. So, again, neither of us watch it, so we're not really too sure on how to judge it. Overall, what's your whole take on Sanity?
I dig them, man. I like the hardcore that they're bringing back into everything now.
I like them, but I don't know. Like, it seems like they're not really getting a reaction on the show.
Yeah, it seems like they need more direction. Like, they need somebody to tell them what they need to be doing.
Or maybe someone better, like, in the forefront, because, like, Eric Young, for example, like,
yeah.
I don't hate him, but the thing about him is that, a lot of you that remember him in TNA, he was basically Butters from South Park.
Yeah.
He would play like the goofy, superhero, gimmick that, was kind of similar to Hurricane Helms. And now he's this serious, I'm a scary punk rock monster man. And
yeah,
it's kind of hard to take him seriously. He's a very good wrestler, but you see that it's just like, it doesn't work for me.
Yeah, he usually puts on a pretty good technical match.
Yeah, that's about it. So, and then Andrade Cien Almas. This guy.
I kind of like him.
I like him too. Like at the beginning of the year, he had probably the best 2 matches at the first 2 takeovers at the beginning of the year. The match with Gargano, which I thought was I think it's match of the year so far. And in my opinion, I think that match between Almas and Gargano, I think it was better than Gargano and Ciampa's matches.
Really?
And I'm not saying it to say that Ciampa and Gargano's matches suck. Their matches were friggin' awesome. Yeah. I don't know. It's just I like that Gargano and Almas match. That's just my opinion. I liked it. I thought it was a better wrestling match. These past 2 matches that Gargano and Ciampa had, I loved them, but I don't know. I like the Almas and Gargano match at TakeOver in Philly. I liked it maybe a little bit more.
Well, Takeover's been better than anything else recently, anyway.
That always seems to be the case, that TakeOver is always going to be better than the main show. So, hello?
Yeah.
Okay, I thought I lost you. Alright, first match on the main card is the B team. Bo Dallas and Curtis Axel defeated Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt for the Raw Tag Team Championships. I missed this match. Did you watch it, Bob?
It was very entertaining.
It was entertaining?
Yeah, I thought it was a very good match.
Alright, so fill me in. Like, what exactly happened? How exactly did the B team win? Did they win clean, or did they kind of just win, like, in a almost like a fuck finish?
Well, it was kind of at the very end of the match. Bray and Matt were both in the ring with Bo, and Axel was coming up outside the ring, and Bray went to grab him, and Bo threw Matt into Bray and knocked him out of the ring and then distracted him, and he got the pinfall.
Oh, okay. Seems about right. I don't know. Like, whenever the company has a new tag team they want to push, instead of just kind of letting them get over organically, they just automatically put a title on them, or the tag titles on them.
Yeah.
It works. It works the same way with singles guys. Instead of letting them get over organically, hey, here's a title. So
Yeah, they were saying at the beginning of the match, they were both undefeated. Well, the leaders of the world kind of deserve to be undefeated.
So, there's obviously going to be a rematch. I think it more likely be on Raw. Probably not on SummerSlam. The way it looks, they might just do probably a gauntlet match at SummerSlam, or maybe they'll even have their rematch at SummerSlam. I don't know. But what do you think? What do you think is going to happen next?
I think they'll have it on Raw coming up. I think they'll want their rematch.
So you see this Hardy and White team? Do you see it staying a little bit longer? Do you think they're going to break them apart?
They could draw it out for a little while.
You know how the company. Unfortunately, the company likes to split up people.
Yeah.
But personally, I would like to see him stay, because what else are you going to do for Matt afterwards? Because the Woken gimmick, it's kind of been so-so, in the middle. It's before he came to WWE, it was huge, and then he came to the company, and it's selling T-shirts, and he gets a reaction. But then again, anyone can get a reaction when you tell the crowd, "Hey, chant my catchphrase," and they'll do it.
Yeah.
So, I like Matt. I like the Hardys. I'm a Hardy guy. I prefer Jeff over Matt personally, but yeah, it's just my opinion.
I personally kind of hope that they at least do the whole Woken thing with Jeff Hardy before they let it die.
Probably that'd be interesting, but they kind of are technically, because,
or at least Willow. I'd rather see Willow than the Woken Jeff Hardy.
Do you really think that they would bring in Willow?
Not anytime soon.
It'd be something new, but we'll get to Jeff.
I think it would definitely have to be after Vince is gone and out of the picture.
Vince will outlive all of us.
Yeah.
he's gonna outlive
Triple H. He's gonna be a robot 50 years from now.
He will outlive his kids. He will outlive Triple H, and he'll, like you said, he'll be a robot. Damn it! Push Roman Reigns' son. But it's but Vince, Roman is 70 and his son is only 15. I don't care, damn it. But yeah, that's my Vince impression. Next match on the card, the match I kind of caught at the end is Finn Balor defeating Constable Corbin. Nothing to really talk about, because it's anything that involves Baron Corbin is always meh.
Yeah.
and Finn Balor in his bright silver and black tights, and Baron Corbin in his weird TGI Fridays vest. So
I'm kind of nobody's saying anything about whenever Stone Cold was the constable. Stone Cold needs to come back and like kick the crap out of him.
I mean, it'd be something interesting, but Steve Austin, he's kind of in the doghouse of the company because whenever you say he's been saying bad things about the company, and when I say bad things, I don't mean like he thinks the company sucks and everyone sucks. More just like he's been making what's it called, criticisms about the company that are actually true. Kind of like criticisms that us fans make, and
Right.
that's a big no-no with the company, regardless of who you are. If you make criticisms about the company, you don't think everything they do and say is great, then you're on the outs with them. So, yeah, the match ends. The match ends with Balor doing his finishing move and coup de grace. So, what do you think about this whole constable gimmick where they're not even making him look like a wrestler?
It was funny at the beginning. Like the first couple of times he started doing it was pretty funny.
I mean, it's
But
interesting.
now it's just kind of yeah. I mean, they could do so much with it. I doubt they will.
I mean, the point of being a wrestler is you gotta look
Just
like a wrestler. He doesn't even look like a wrestler. He looks like a server. He looks like what is it? Somebody called him Batista with Down syndrome. So I don't know. Like Baron Corbin, it just seems like he's that type of guy that'll just suck the fun out of a room. Like
yeah.
he doesn't really have anything. Like when he talks, it makes your interest level already go out the window.
Mm-hmm.
And he can't really wrestle. If you can't have a good match with AJ Styles, then something's wrong with you. At least Jinder Mahal had a good match with AJ Styles, and Jinder Mahal's
Jinder had a few good matches with him.
yeah, and Jinder Mahal's not even on the show, and this guy is.
Yeah.
So, anyways, next match, another match I didn't see because again I was at work. Carmella defeating Asuka for the women's championship. James Ellsworth was suspended above the ring in a shark cage. Did you see this match?
I saw most of this match. And when you say he was hanging from the shark cage, both literally and figuratively.
Yeah, because you said most of it. I'm looking at the times. This match was 5 minutes and 25 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I probably saw about 4 minutes of it. I don't even think I saw like the first 2 minutes of the match, probably.
So is it time to just like rest in peace to Asuka's career?
They need to do something else with her.
Because you have her win the first ever women's Royal Rumble. She loses to Charlotte, which, I mean, I didn't have a problem with that. And then you have Charlotte lose the title to Carmella the next night, and then you have Carmella beat her twice. So where does Asuka go from here?
And it wouldn't be so bad that she's losing to Carmella, but they're having her lose to Carmella because of Ellsworth every single time. It's like a slap in the face, basically.
I don't know, this company it seems like they really like Carmella a lot, because
I don't get it.
I mean,
she's entertaining, but
define entertaining.
For long enough that, well, I mean, it's funny most of the time. But she's been around long enough that she should be way better than she is.
Well, here's the thing. It's already bad enough that she calls herself the Princess of Staten Island, and she doesn't even speak in a Brooklyn or Staten Island accent. And it's even worse that she comes out and moonwalks and gets no reaction. She can't really talk. I don't get what her whole deal is with. Hey, I'm gonna yell and scream in every match and laugh, and then I'm gonna throw kicks that don't look good. So, yeah. I don't know. Like, I mean, she's okay to look at. I mean, granted that she did something to her mouth, to where it looks like she can't even close her mouth all the way. So, I don't know. This whole Carmella thing needs to end soon. It needs to end at SummerSlam. I'm getting this like frightening feeling that they might just have her like be championing until maybe the end of the year or maybe even Mania.
They need to beat her. Because, I mean, everybody that's there is not really doing anything right now anyway.
Well, I mean, the whole thing about the women's division, my whole opinion on it is that they should have just made one woman's title and then put all the women on one show. Like, they should have put all the women on Raw and put all the cruiserweights on SmackDown.
Yeah.
I mean, that would have been a lot more interesting because all these women fighting for one title, it would have looked more competitive. Now, you look at both shows. I mean, SmackDown looks like they have the weakest women's roster because you have Carmella. Asuka should be the strongest one, but I don't know anymore. Becky's the most over one, but they treat her like a piece of garbage. Yeah. And who else? Who else is on SmackDown? Because that just shows how little I care about SmackDown.
Naomi.
I think Naomi's on Raw.
Is she?
I think so. But yeah.
Charlotte's on SmackDown.
What was that?
Charlotte.
Oh yeah. I don't know how I forget about Charlotte because it seems like the company's forgotten about her. I'm sounding like a Debbie Downer tonight, guys. I'm sorry. Next match on the card, United States Championship match, Nakamura versus Jeff Hardy. Nakamura defeats Jeff Hardy in 6 seconds after he low blows him before the match begins. The match begins, and then he King Shasta, or I'm probably saying that wrong. King Shasta him in the face. 1, 2, 3. Wins the United States Championship, which enters Randy Orton for some random reason where he comes out and kicks Jeff in the balls. To be honest, I forgot Randy Orton was even gone. I heard that he had surgery on something. What are they doing? Oh, I'm sorry?
I think it was his shoulder.
No, that makes sense. Okay, what's your whole take on what they're doing with Nakamura recently?
I wish they would have gone a different route with making him a bad guy. I dig the bad guy persona. They should have just did it completely different. The whole low blow match at the pay-per-view was pretty ridiculous.
Because, like, when he became a heel at Mania, I was actually interested. Because I honestly thought it was going to be... He was going to win the title at Mania and AJ was going to be a heel. But, you know... They kept the title on AJ, which I was happy with. I like it. You know, AJ, I'm biased towards him. But they're making Nakamura this heel, which I was like, okay, it's interesting. They're going to make him a cool, badass heel. But all they've been having him doing is just kicking people in the nuts or hitting him in the nuts. Which I'm surprised, you know, Paige hasn't, you know, came out in storyline fashion and be like, you're no longer allowed to hit people in the nuts, or else you're going to be fired. You know, and I know it's a show, I know it's fake, but you know, I'm a stickler to detail.
Yeah.
And I noticed things like that. I'm like, why haven't they banned anything? Or why haven't any of these wrestlers on the show wore cups when they know they have to wrestle Nakamura?
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't know. It just makes sense. It makes everyone on the show look stupid. So, and I don't know why they made this a squash match, though.
and at Jeff Hardy's expense, no less.
I mean, is Jeff hurt? Do you know if Jeff's hurt?
I don't think he is.
Yeah, because like I had a feeling Nakamura was going to win this because as much as I love Jeff Hardy, he was a placeholder for the style. Let's just be real.
They should have just had a really badass match and then drop the title on Nakamura.
I mean, I wasn't expecting a competitive match. I was expecting, Nakamura was going to hit someone in the nuts, which kind of contradicts this whole show to begin with. It's supposed to be called Extreme Rules. But, yeah, like, they could have at least made this, like, a 5-minute match, but then again, I think they wanted to, close the show out as early as they can. Yeah. And so that meant, shaving some time from other matches. So, I don't know. Anywho, yeah, this match was bleh. This is the first match I actually caught, and it was only 6 seconds. So, anyways, next match on the card, steel cage match. Kevin Owens defeated Braun Strowman after Braun Strowman threw him off the top of the cage onto the ground, onto a table.
Pretty hard fall.
Yeah, I was gonna say, do you think Kevin Owens legitimately got hurt?
I think he did. I don't think he landed the way he was supposed to.
Yeah, because like I follow a lot of podcasters on Twitter. There's a guy following Kevin Castle. He's one of the co-hosts of a podcast I listen to called Don Tony Kevin Castle. He kind of insinuated that Braun, I think, might have.
Next time you go to the store, and whatnot, can you get an experience?
Oh boy.
What was that?
What? That was my son.
Oh, all right. I was gonna say he insinuated that Braun might have threw him off maybe a little too hard and hurt him. Yeah. Which I said, to be fair, even if you didn't try to hurt him, if you throw someone off, even if it's supposed to be a fake, fight, if you throw someone off from that height and they land on the ground, it's still gonna hurt. Your body's gonna be aching. So.
Yeah, just ask Mick Foley.
Hello?
I said, yeah, just ask Mick Foley.
Yeah, did you see that, that spot happening?
Yeah.
I honestly didn't. I thought there was maybe going to be a crazy spot, like maybe Braun throwing Kevin Owens through the cage, but not throwing him off the top of the cage, which I kind
of thought it was going to be more along the lines he got to the top, and as Braun was getting up there to him, he jumped away from him. I kind of figured he was going to go off the top of the cage.
This whole feud with Owens and Braun, how do you judge how Owens has been looking in this feud?
Dude, I love Kevin Owens. Every time he's on screen, it's whole hysterical. Everything he does is funny. Even during his matches, it's just hilarious.
It's kind of weird because Kevin Owens is supposed to be the heel and Braun's supposed to be the babyface. But when you look at this feud, if you weren't a wrestling fan and you watch this feud for the first time, you would almost think that Kevin Owens is supposed to be the face. Because he's looked really sympathetic because Braun totaled his car, has been terrorizing him, and then locked him in a porta potty and threw him off stage. And then threw him. I really
wish they would stop with the whole Braun flipping a car over because it just seems too unrealistic.
Well, I mean, he's a legit strong man, and also second, he's not. I know he's not actually flipping it over because they'll film it from a camera angle where it looks like he is, but there's really, some stunt people, pulling it from the back. So, Yeah, Kevin Owens win this. And what do you think goes from here?
I don't know. I really wish they would have gave Braun Strowman the title shot with Brock.
And that's another thing. Kurt Angle made an announcement on the pre-show that Brock needs to show up tomorrow to decide who his next opponent is. If not, Kurt Angle will strip him of the title. Which
He'll be there.
Yeah, he's going to be there. The talk is that Brock will drop the title to whoever at SummerSlam and then head back to UFC after his contract expires.
I really hope it's not Bobby Lashley.
We'll get to that in a second. Next match on the card, SmackDown Tag Team Championships. The Bludgeon Brothers, Harper and Rowan, defeated Team Hell No, Daniel Bryan and Kane. This match was really nothing to remember.
Yeah.
Before the match, the Bludgeon Brothers beat up Team Hell No in the back, and they tried to break Kane's ankle. And so it was Daniel Bryan fighting by himself for a while. Kane came out and tried to do what he can with just one working leg, and in the end, Harper and Rowan won. I don't know about you. This whole Bludgeon Brothers thing, I don't like it or get it. Because I don't see why they couldn't just call them Harper and Rowan and just have them be just guys that just go out there and beat the crap out of people.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of this whole, hey, we're characters from Mad Max Thunderdome, and we have foam hammers that we don't really hit people with. I don't know. It doesn't make any...
how good Harper is.
Yeah, Harper I like. He can actually go. Rowan is bleh. I mean, he's not terrible. He's just bleh.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess they just wanted this match so they can do something with Daniel Bryan. I guess just keep him away from the Miz for a while so they can finally feud. Mm-hmm. Or at least keep him away from the world title. Next match on the card is Bobby Lashley versus Roman Reigns. Lashley wins with a spear. What do you think about this match?
Surprisingly good.
I don't know, like...
The match.
Go ahead. Hello?
Yep.
Yeah, I couldn't hear you. What were you saying about it?
I said it was surprisingly good. It was not my least favorite match of the night.
I watched it on my phone, and it just... I don't know, like Bobby Lashley, he doesn't get really any reaction. I'm not sure if that's his fault or the company's fault, because the way they're pushing him is, hey, do you remember this guy? He was here 10 years ago. It's like, you do realize not many people, from 10 years ago watch it anymore, right? Or there's like half of the audience that knows who he is.
Yeah.
So, and it doesn't help that you're putting him with Roman Reigns, who everyone hates. So by default, people are going to want the other guy to beat Roman Reigns. So, I mean, the match wasn't too bad, because, Bobby Lashley, to his credit, he can actually wrestle. He has some athletic talent to him. And then you got Reigns, who's, unpopular opinion, he can actually go out there and wrestle, given the right opponent. The match wasn't terrible, but, again, nothing to really, remember.
The bump over the top rope was pretty good, too.
Oh, which bump?
Whenever Roman threw Lashley over the top onto the ground.
I didn't see that part. Yeah, I was on.
Drop.
Yeah, I was on my way home and we were picking up something to eat, so I was watching it on my phone. I guess I missed that part. Yeah, this match again, nothing much to get excited about, other than the fact that Roman Reigns lost. Next match, Alexa Bliss versus Nia Jax, Extreme Rules match for the Women's Championship overall. Alexa Bliss wins. Ronda Rousey was at ringside, and then she interfered in the match, which again, storyline details. Why didn't security come out and escort her out of the arena? She beat the hell out of Mickie James. She tried to go after Alexa. Didn't happen. Alexa started wailing on Nia Jax with a chair, I think either 2 or 3 times. And then DDT'd her, 1, 2, 3. Was still the Raw Women's Champion. So, your thoughts?
It wasn't, to me, here lately, anytime they have extreme labeled on anything is kind of a red flag for me right off the bat. Because they don't really do extreme anymore.
Yeah, because this whole pay-per-view is Extreme Rules, and I'm looking at it, and there's only like 1, 2, just like 2 matches that had an extreme outcome to it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, why didn't you make Nakamura and Jeff Hardy a ladder match? Why didn't you make Finn Balor and Corbin a street fight? I don't get it. Why would you call this Extreme Rules where there's only 2 extreme matches?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess the cage match counted as an extreme match, but I don't know. The thought process behind these gimmick pay-per-views is very nearsighted. They're very far-sighted. Yeah, this match again, not much to remember. Only the fact that Ronda Rousey interfered. It just seemed my whole thought process of this match was that it started and then Ronda Rousey came in and then it ended.
Pretty much.
So it's pretty much going to set up, Alexa Bliss versus Ronda at SummerSlam, which it's already bad enough to think about Ronda Rousey having a sell for Alexa Bliss. It's like, she's a legit fighter. She can beat the shit out of both men and women. And then you have Alexa Bliss, who's 5 feet. As much as I love Alexa Bliss, and everyone knows me and knows that I love Alexa Bliss, Ronda Rousey should really just go in there and punch her in the face and pin her.
Yeah, that match should last 6 seconds.
I mean, here's how it should be. Ronda Rousey should just chase her around the ring, catch her, beat the crap out of her. Just have her away with her and then pin her. Or submit her, whatever. But if that match goes over 5 minutes, I will be surprised. Or, you know what? Better yet, if it goes over 3 minutes, I will be surprised. Because it was
sure
Nia
will get involved.
Probably. I mean, it was already bad enough that she had to sell for Stephanie McMahon. So, anywho, we're getting into the final 2 matches. AJ Styles versus Rusev for the WWE Championship. AJ wins. Pretty good match. I wish it could have been a little bit longer. It felt really fast.
Yeah, I think they shaved some of that match off too.
Yeah, Rusev shined in this match. He really stepped his game up. The crowd was eating up the whole Rusev Day chants there. And it wasn't just they were chanting for Rusev and they hated AJ Styles. No, they were both chanting Rusev Day, AJ Styles. AJ continuing to be the Shawn Michaels of our generation. Went out there and made Rusev look like a star, which Rusev was already, big. But he made him look like a superstar. A lot of false counts back and forth. Rusev selling a hamstring injury. It ends with Aiden English costing him the match, quote unquote. He pulled off one of the turnbuckle paddings, to which Rusev hit it, and then AJ went from the phenomenal forearm, 1, 2, 3. Which, I mean, we kind of saw this coming. AJ was going to win.
Yeah.
So, the rumor is that AJ will face Samoa Joe at SummerSlam. Which, I'm just waiting for them to screw that up.
Yeah. It'll either be a hit or a miss.
It's like, oh, you want to see AJ versus Nakamura at WrestleMania? Let's screw this up. Oh, you want to see AJ versus Kevin Owens? Yeah, let's make this, like, subpar. So, I don't know. What do you think's next for Rusev?
Probably back down to U.S. title.
Do you see him maybe breaking up with Aiden English?
I think he's probably gonna blame Aiden for it.
I mean, it seems like it. The talk was that they were setting up a possible, Aiden English was going to screw over Rusev, but that wouldn't make any sense because they're both heels. And AJ's already a face. So, this makes sense that Rusev's going to cut English out and keep Lana in, which I'm surprised Lana didn't come out. So, for AJ, AJ's been champion since last November, which is crazy. What is that noise?
Oh, I'm outside.
Okay. AJ's been champion since last November, so that's 8 months already.
How long did Punk have the title?
Punk had the title for 434 days, so that was a year and 2 months, and Brock already broke that reign. There was actually kind of an interesting stat that somebody put up where it showed, AJ, not AJ, CM Punk was the champion for 434 days, and he had this many title defenses, and Brock was the champion for this many days, and only had this many title defenses. And they showed Okada, who was champion for 2 years, but he only defended the title, I think, 7 times, less than Brock. I can pull it up, actually. I'm trying to find this picture. Well, I'll find it. I'll pull up the last match of the night, and I'll let you talk about it. Dolph Ziggler versus Seth Rollins in a 30-minute Iron Man match for the Intercontinental Championship. Dolph wins 5-4 in sudden death overtime. What are your thoughts on it? Or what were your thoughts on it?
Technically wise, probably match of the night.
Mm-hmm.
Entertainment wise, was pretty much exactly what I was going to expect to happen.
Yeah, I mean, these two, it was almost a given that these two are going to go out there and wrestle and have a great match. I mean, because Seth has just done an amazing job organically getting himself over as a face. Because he was terrible as a heel. Him as a heel was terrible.
Yeah.
With coming out, every week, with his weird laugh, his and saying John, and him as a face was kind of his original face run was kind of subpar because if you get put into a feud with Triple H, it's either hit or miss. Oh, by the way, I have the picture up. CM Punk title reign for 434 days, 141 title defenses. Brock, 10 title defenses, and Okada, 7 title defenses.
Wow.
So Okada had 3 less title defenses than Brock. But then again, in JPW, they don't have weekly shows like Raw, like WWE. They'll have like their pay-per-views like every few months.
Yeah, but I'm sure they also have every single one of his matches have probably been phenomenal matches. I don't remember the last time I saw a phenomenal Brock Lesnar match.
The only one I can think of, the last like good Brock Lesnar match they had was with CM Punk at SummerSlam. It was in SummerSlam 2013.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, him and Punk had a great match. After that, I think it started to go downhill a little bit. I don't know if something's wrong with Brock, like physically, because before, whenever he came back, he was freaking huge. He was jacked, and now it seems like It seems like something's wrong with him because he seems bloated. Like, the matches that he has that are just normal wrestling matches are short because it seems like he just gets really winded really fast. And then if he'll have like a hardcore match, they seem like they're longer because it doesn't seem like he has to do that much.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know if it's laziness or I don't know if the company's saying, hey, don't go this long, or maybe he's demanding, more money per minute, per minute.
Could just be having one match per year.
I don't know. Like, I don't blame Brock for it. I don't blame Brock.
He trained outside, but
I don't blame Brock for it. I blame the company for this ridiculous contract that they give.
Yeah.
Because I don't think the fans are mad at Brock. They're mad at the fact that he's not there enough, and they're mad at the fact that the company agreed to give him all this money to only wrestle like 4 months, like 4 times out of the year. And the fact that you made him champion for no reason is already ridiculous. Like, the Universal title has... Go ahead. Go ahead.
But yeah, they just blatantly make it to where he keeps the title when he should be losing those matches.
Yeah, because it was a for sure thing that Roman was going to beat him at Mania, and he didn't. And now the question is, who's going to beat him? Because it's a given that they might just give Roman another chance and have him beat him, but it's like Brock already beat him twice. Who else are you going to give it to? Like, I mean, it seems like they're going to give it to Braun. They're going to have Braun cash it in and win. I mean, I really don't want to see him give it to Bobby Lashley.
I think they're going to give the match to Lashley. Then Braun's going to come down and cash it in during the match.
Seems like it. It seems like they're going to have a main event, but they're going to be in Brooklyn for SummerSlam, and the crowd is not going to accept that match as their main event.
Yeah.
So if they're smart, they'll make AJ versus Samoa Joe the main event, if that will happen. And the writing's kind of on the wall. They're going to have Braun interfere with whoever Brock is facing, and then have Braun go over and win the championship. And the talk is that they're going to have him feud with Roman till Mania and have Roman beat him at Mania. Which
so tired of seeing him in the main event.
They're just, in their head, they're thinking, it's only the smart fans that are booing Reigns. It's like, no, it's starting to become everybody's booing Reigns. Like, my, Betty and her sister, they're starting to get tired of Reigns. kids like him for sure, yeah, but he's headlined, what is it, he's main evented 4 WrestleManias in a row, and all 4 he's been booed out of the building. Like,
Yep.
how do they see that and not go, maybe we should make this guy a mid-carder?
Maybe we should skin him alive on TV. Would probably be more entertaining.
Yeah, because you look at all these like news websites saying, they're thinking of making him a sympathetic babyface so the crowd will side with him. It's like, no, the crowd doesn't like him. That's the point. They hate him. Go away. Like, I would like to not see Roman Reigns on my television anymore. Like, I can say this with full confidence. If he got released tomorrow, I would not really care. There's a lot of people on this roster that if they got released tomorrow, I don't think it would affect me or the show that much.
Yeah, at least a third.
Yeah. Oh yeah, main event. Rollins versus Dolph. Great match. I mean, it was expected out of these two. I mean, they chose the right match to main event. Because the talk was that they were going to have Reigns and Bobby Lashley main event. And I made the comment of, well, they better expect a lot of empty seats because there's going to be a lot of people walking out during that match. So, yeah, this match main evented. Good match. As expected, Dolph won. Earlier in the match, McIntyre interfered and beat up Rollins, which caused Dolph to go for 2 straight pins. And then take the lead. And then Rollins got a pin within 30 seconds. And he went for his curb stomp, but couldn't reach him in time. All he needed was like 5 seconds, and he could have won. Kurt Angle came out and said, this match will go to sudden death, which I called. I called that. And as the match is starting, McIntyre comes out and distracts Seth, and Dolph goes for the zigzag, 1, 2, 3. Which, that seemed like kind of a waste, because if you're just going to do that, why didn't you just have Dolph win 5-4 without a sudden death? Because that was kind of, an FU to the crowd, in my opinion. Like, at least have him go out there for, like, maybe an extra minute or 2, and then, if McIntyre interfered, that would have made sense, but to just have it happen automatically? I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, I understand they wanted to end the show a little early and as quick as they could, but I enjoyed the match, but that part kind of bothered me a little bit. Not to the point where I'm like, oh, this show's terrible, I'm never watching it again. Like, more, I'm just like, they maybe could have done it a little bit differently, but that's just my opinion.
I'd agree with that.
All right, so Extreme Rules, how would you rate it?
Normally my favorite pay-per-view of the year.
But
I'd give it a C+.
I'll be kind and give it a C. There were a lot of matches on here that weren't that good, but to their credit, they let the bad matches end as quick as they could. What was your match of the night, and what was your worst match of the night?
I don't know if you'd really call it a match. Worst match of the night was the Jeff Hardy debacle.
Yeah, I would say the concept behind that is bad because you could at least have them go out there and wrestle for a couple minutes.
Yeah.
5 minutes, 6 minutes at least.
Best match of the night had to be the Kevin Owens match.
I liked it. I like that too. I mean, the spot was what made the match. AJ Styles versus Rusev, I think, is the match of the night. I'm biased. I'm sounding biased because I like AJ Styles. But that was a good match. Worst match of the night. Granted that I missed like the first half of the show. I'm gonna have to go with you on Jeff Hardy versus Nakamura. That match could have really been good, and you just had Nakamura just act like the Japanese Hamburglar and nutshot Hardy, and just take the title. So, if that was the point, why even have this match on the show? So, yeah, you gave it a C. You gave the show a C plus. I gave it a C. I'll be kind and give it a C. So yeah, next pay-per-view will be SummerSlam, August 19th. Should I be expecting you back for SummerSlam?
Yeah, absolutely.
And also that weekend will be TakeOver in Brooklyn, which they haven't announced any matches yet. If I had to assume anything, I would say Ciampa Gargano versus Black for the title.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, kind of seems like the way to go. That's about it, man. Was there anything you wanted to talk about in particular?
No, not really. I mean, other than the writing has just been horrible on here lately.
Yeah. I'll be honest. I haven't really watched a Raw in a while. Probably because I'm always working. Raw and SmackDown. I'm either working, going to school, or have better stuff to do with my time. SmackDown and Raw are just bad. SmackDown, I had high hopes because of the talent that they have on the show, but they have just been bad. Like, yeah, and it's not the wrestlers; it's the writing.
Yeah.
They need to fix it quick, because if your developmental company is doing better shows than you, especially doing better shows before your biggest shows of the year, then you need to fix something with your show.
Well, I mean, it also is who's running the show.
Yeah, it's Vince, and at the end of the day, Vince will run the show as he pleases, but this needs to be a wake-up call, because I don't know if you heard, on Saturday, the night before WrestleMania, Ring of Honor and NJPW will be running a show at Madison Square Garden.
Interesting.
And this is going to be the same night as TakeOver, which I'm assuming they're going to be somewhere in New York. I'm not sure. I guess at MetLife Stadium.
Yeah.
So that has to be a wake-up call for Vince, because not only is your developmental going to be more than likely the best show of the weekend before your biggest show of the year, you're going to have another show that's probably even going to be as better, maybe if not better than that show. So, usually by this time there's already rumors of what the WrestleMania main event's going to be, but they haven't even announced what the main event's going to be, or even they haven't even stated what supposedly the main event's going to be.
I'm calling it. Hogan's coming back out of retirement. He's going to take the title from Brock.
Wow, you're like really sure about that. Yeah, that's in more news. Hulk Hogan has been reinstated, quote unquote, into the Hall of Fame after being gone for 3 years. How do you see Hogan fitting in with the company being brought back? Like, what do you think they would give him?
Well, I had seen an article about it. It was a few months ago where they were talking to him about it. And they said that they were pretty much just going to have...
Hello? 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 Bob. 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 And I think we lost Bob. Hello?
Yeah. Sorry, I lost you.
Oh, okay. What were you saying about Hogan? Hello?
Yeah, can you hear me now?
I can hear you.
Okay. No, I was saying that I was reading an article about them bringing Hogan back, and they were saying that if they brought him back at the time, he was going to come back as like an ambassador for the WWE whenever they would go to like foreign nations.
Yeah, it makes sense. Seems like the best plausible thing to do for him. I mean, because you can't make him a authority figure because there's already two authority figures. I mean, just put him in that limelight as as an ambassador for the company. Spreading goodwill, bringing in seats, bringing in people. The what happened? He came back. He actually was backstage at Extreme Rules. He didn't appear, but the story was that he actually spoke to a lot of the younger wrestlers. He apologized, and he gave it he what was called an emotional speech, basically letting everyone know: be careful what you do. Be careful what you do outside of this company because it could come back to haunt you. Whatever you say and do will haunt you. Which I agree with that. To Hogan's credit, he's been kind of staying out of the limelight since he got arrested. I mean, not arrested, but since he got fired 3 years ago. I mean, I'm interested that he's back. I mean, I'm not a Hogan fan, never was, but I'm glad he's back because it brings.
His returns were always entertaining.
It's always entertaining when you bring back an old face, when you bring back someone from yesteryear, because it's always going to bring in old fans saying, "Hey, I remember him." Yeah. And then you can have people with kids or grandkids who watch the show going, "Hey, that was Hogan. That was Hulk Hogan. He's like what Roman Reigns is now, but he was bigger." So yeah, there's that. Yeah, I believe that's.
He was like Roman Reigns, but relevant.
That's an interesting way of describing it. I believe that's pretty much everything that I have. I'm not sure about you. Was there anything else you wanted to go over?
No, that was a good show, man.
Yeah, I appreciate you getting on tonight. SummerSlam. Will I see you there?
Absolutely.
All right, then it's set. Yeah, next one of these will obviously be SummerSlam, and there's going to be that takeover in Brooklyn, so that's going to be a big show. So, Bob, I will talk to you soon, or I'll see you for SummerSlam.
All right, man.
All right, take care, brother.
Later.
All right, that was Extreme Rules. Yeah, I mentioned I'll try to do more of these pay-per-view recaps. As far as my next show goes, every Wednesday at 6:30. As of right now, I'm not sure if it's going to be solo like last time, or if I'm going to have Devin or Jesus or somebody on. You will find out. You'll find out Wednesday. As a matter of fact, I'll try and text Devin and see what he's doing this Wednesday. So, anyways, anyone who was in the chat room, thank you for listening. I will chop and edit this show and put it up in about 30 minutes. All right, take care, guys.